I'm
Okay.
in.
All right. So here we go. We got NFL week 13. Are we 13 or what week is this? I don't even know
Uh,
anymore. I don't even know anymore.
13. At 13, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm John Patterson, and that's Buford T. Pusser. I think.
Buford P.
Am
Pessa.
I aging yourself with that?
Yeah, I think you're aging yourself with that, but
Yeah, I know, but those
I don't know.
yeah, dude. Oh, there we go.
All right, here I am. Listen, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so a little background. John Patterson today lives in the Los Angeles area. He went to the USC Notre Dame game. How was it, John? Yeah, fun?
It was great. We went there, looking for the families that our school's always kind of been Notre Dame. We've always followed the Fighting Irish, and we used to just go to that matchup every 2 years. And so we used to go with our uncles, and today we were the uncles, with the nephews, and so that was a great game. I think they actually broke some history, made some history in that game. ND had two pick sixes, like
Yeah,
on back-to-back
I heard
drives for
about
like
that.
199 yards. I don't even think an offense has moved the ball that much, but
Yeah,
yeah, they took care of business. They were never trailing, even though they'd score, and the other guys would score, but they ended up covering the 7.5, which is what we thought. And yeah, it was just a good game. It wasn't really about the betting. It was really about watching Notre Dame lock in a home field game for the inaugural playoff system that college has. So it was exciting. It was good to be part of that history.
yeah, of course, because they're the independent, and if the viewer doesn't know, USC is actually my team. I love USC. But they had a very poor season. They were not very good, and it is what it is. They have some guys that could possibly get things cooking next year, but this was not their year. But Notre Dame, yeah, and my nephew to channel you, my nephew, one of my nephews, I have three nephews that are really into football. I have five nephews total, but three of them are really into football. And one of them is a Notre Dame fan, and he was watching very excitedly. And the other nephew is I'm actually taking him to the Buffalo Bills game tomorrow night. The San Francisco 49ers come to town in a snowstorm, which we might not even be able to get to the stadium. So we are literally going to try to sacrifice our lives to get there. And we'll figure it out. But
Oh wow!
we're front row end zone, and he's a Niner guy, and I'm obviously a Bills guy. But it meant a lot to him, because I think he's only seen the Niners once, and he had to go to Cleveland to see them. Um, and he's 18, 19 years old, so that should be a
Well,
lot
let's
of
start with
fun.
that one. What the line on that 7.5? Just kind of like the ND game was, right? Is
Yeah,
that
I think
moved at
it.
all?
I think it actually went down. I think it's 6 now at this point, but um,
The weather must have something to do with that.
yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that. I mean, San Francisco's kind of been it's been a bad year for them. We expected when McCaffrey came back, it would just be turning on the switch and they were blowing people
Mhm.
out. That hasn't been the case. What's your
Yeah.
take on the game?
I do like the Bills. I think at this point, I mean, the Bills minus the 6 is my bet for the game. But my nephew likes the Niners. I think to hang around, at least cover. Uh, but let's be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is the type of game that we don't really know exactly what the weather will be come
Hmm.
game time. I mean, we know the 90 going from, a little past Buffalo out west, into Pennsylvania and that Ohio area. That is closed down.
Oh, geez.
But when it comes back up that Lake Erie, that's where it gets interesting because Orchard Park right now, which is for the viewers at home, is a little past Buffalo, going west towards the lake or down Lake Erie. Um, it is a little messy right now, so we'll see. I think the majority of the weather will pass. They say that the game by game time, and there really shouldn't be much snow, but it's just the travel, and then also like I mean, for parking pass purposes, they're building the new stadium, so it's really difficult to get a parking pass in the actual stadium lots because they've downgraded that. And it used to be you could just pull up and park, but now it's like, hey, there's people that, you have to buy the passes, and those passes went from, 30, $40 to $100, on the second market. So what you want to do is park in somebody's, lawn, for 30, $40, which we've done the whole year. But at the same time, with 2 feet of snow and you're driving a compact car, will that be possible? So that's the
Hmm.
question mark that I have going into this game.
So you're not even so concerned about the line anymore.
I don't care about
I
the line. I care about getting to the game. Yeah.
Well, I loved Buffalo, but to be honest with you, I there've been so many other things that I've been focused on in terms of sports and other things this week. Some traveling going on that I didn't even realize that the weather was so bad, and that would really take me away from wanting to lay the 7.5.
Mhm.
But I would think that since they're the home team, then I feel pretty good. But since the line moved, yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to take a back seat on this one. But
Mhm.
we were both really bullish on the Bills, and
Mhm.
so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to take them out of my top three in terms of picks. They were my third strongest pick because I thought they would have just waxed the 49ers this week. So
Yeah.
let me just go ahead and say that and lead off with what my biggest pick of the week is Cincinnati. I think Burrow is just going to go nuts. I think that whole team, especially him, he's really angry and he's locked in, and their defense is starting to play better. And so I think they're in a position where they're going to do some damage, and they're playing Pittsburgh, eh?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it takes a little bit of sack to be so well to say I'm confident and I'm betting them with confidence. So yeah, I like Burrow and I like
Yeah.
I like the Bengals, and I think they're going to put up a lot of points on that great defense
Hmm.
of the Steelers. What say you?
I actually like the Steelers, man. I'm surprised. I mean, I know the Bengals are a favorite in this one at home, and they're coming off the bye, and that's fantastic. And they've had some higher scoring games. Obviously, they can put up points, but I look for the Steelers get back to being more down to earth and playing great defense and surviving this one. I have the Steelers winning this game outright. I have them 23-17, the Steelers on the road.
Yeah, and Matt, for everyone who doesn't know, he's kind of known for being able to pick scores. I mean, I just see a line, I'll tell you what I like and why I like. But yeah, the score thing
Oh,
that's
thanks,
Matt.
John.
So what do you say? 2020? What was that again?
23-17. I like the Steelers to win on the road. Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll take the flip side of that. I'm gonna take the reciprocal. I'm gonna go with
23-17 Bengals.
I never pick the scores.
Yeah.
I tried to today. It's just not my thing. I pick winners,
Mhm.
and so in that game,
Yes, you
I
do.
like Cincinnati.
Yes, you do. And
What
hey,
else we got?
well, you took money line Georgia Tech. What were they? They were minus 20, or they were plus 20 and a half. They were up 17-0 yesterday.
Uh,
You're up 37 points, and Georgia finds a way to stick around. But hey, if you've taught our viewers anything, John, it's that, hey, if you take a money line pick, you don't waste that great money line pick. You back it up with 2 to 3 times that much on covering the spread. And guess what? That's exactly what Georgia Tech did in
and
an
you
eight
win.
overtime game.
And I had this. I'm going to shoot myself over this. I had Michigan today, but I only took the points. I thought it would be impossible. It made no sense to me that the team I have to win it all would lose today because every senior on that team was actually 0-3 going into today against Michigan. So I figured they were going to take care of business, maybe win by 3 or 4 because that Michigan Ohio State rivalry, there's none bigger in college.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they won that, I mean, I was upset. I mean, I was shocked by it. It
Yeah.
shocked my world. But now I want to double down on Ohio State to win it all.
Yeah.
I like them more than ever after today's thing. I mean, that drive they put together before the half, they just do touchdown. It was really easy for them. That's the only time of the game that we actually saw them, try to play. But yeah, they were able to move the ball real easily. I think when they wanted to. Don't ask me why the game was played so close, so slowly, and or whatever. Because Michigan showed early this year that I mean they're okay. They just lost way too much talent. They're no longer a competitor, but it was a quote unquote rivalry game, and
Yeah.
so I was betting the points with the rivalry. I just didn't think they had any chance of
And that game
having
was
those
so low
seniors.
scoring. Like that's insane.
Yeah,
13-10.
but every one of those seniors on that team this year is now 0-4. And they'll go through an entire 4 years never having beat Ohio State. That's not anything you want to remember. But a national championship would fix all of that. So what else we got in the NFL here? I only
All
got
right,
one other
yeah,
one that
let's
I'm
go back to the
super,
NFL
super
slate.
lean
I'm
on.
sorry. So Tennessee at Washington. Did we talk about this one? I don't think we did. Tennessee +6. So Washington -6 at home. I'm personally Tennessee beats the Texans last week. Um, that's their quality win of the year. Okay, they haven't done
Yeah.
anything else. You
Yep.
have to get back. At least Washington's lost 3 straight, I think. I'm on Washington to get back to doing what they do, and I'm on Jay Daniels. I think they covered that
And
six.
and I do too, and for the same reason. I mean, you have one team that's been great all year, and they've hiccuped, and they got one team that's been horrible all year, and they hiccuped and slid
Yeah,
into a win. Yeah, I don't see the Titans really going anywhere, and Washington's too good of a team on both sides of the ball. I know Eckler's not playing, but
yeah,
Robinson is going to be playing again, so
yes.
I'm confident they'll be able to move the chains consistently.
It's Jaden Daniels. They have good defense, and the Titans. There's issues with the Titans that we don't necessarily understand. They can't score points. They can't win football games.
And
Washington,
I love
blown people out.
I'm sorry, but I love Dan Quinn as a coach, and
So do I.
so
So
they'll
do I.
be
I
ready to
think
play.
he's been fantastic this year.
Yeah.
All right, next game, LA Chargers, your neck of the woods. Like I always say, Johnny, at Atlanta. I love the Chargers in this one. It's essentially a pick 'em. It's a -1 for the Chargers on the road. I like them to win at least by 3 or 4. I just don't think Atlanta's been so hit or miss. We don't really know what their defense is. We don't. I mean, remember the days of Atlanta? Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. He was so good at home. This is Kirk Cousins. He's still pretty good, but you know what? Give me the Chargers. Give me that defense. Give me Dobbins. Give me Herbert.
And that's why I'm taking Atlanta. Dobbins was just put on the IR.
Robin,
Dobbins,
not
so they won't
Dobbins.
be running the
Dobbins.
ball. I don't
Wait,
even think I
Dobbins is
want
on
to take
IR?
this game. But the Chargers are 6-0 against mediocre to bad teams, covering them all comfortably, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't beaten a good team. And I think with Dobbins out, it almost kind of elevates Atlanta to at least good competition. So I'm just going to stay away from this one either way and just hope that the Chargers win. I do expect them in the playoffs. They're going to do some things. But Dobbins being out, that's a real shock to the team. I don't think Gus Edwards is a 1 through 3 down guy, and so I think that they're going to really kind of focus on covering a mediocre, receiving core of the Chargers, relatively easily. So if they're going to win it, they're going to win it with Herbert's running game.
Ah, well, I think Gus Edwards could get things cooking. I mean, I know he's more of a goal line, touchdown snatcher than anything. But
Exactly.
yeah. Either way, agree to disagree on this one. It is essentially a pick 'em, and
I'll go $1 with you on it.
put $1 in the jar.
Done.
Oh wait, no. We already talked about Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, New England. Indy -2.5 on the road against New England. To me, listen, it
That's
would
easy
be
money.
it would be cute to take New England, right? It would be cute, but you have to go Indy here. You have to go Indy here. They're the team that's beaten the team.
You're gonna make me
They
cough. I've been coughing all week.
beat the
But yeah, no,
Steelers.
New England's really bad. I mean, even bad teams are going in there as road favorites. So yeah, give me Indianapolis. I'll take the Colts. They'll beat them.
I agree. Houston minus 3.5 at Jacksonville. What do you think about this one, John? This Stroud.
Wow, it's down to 3.5. It's opened at 4, and I thought that was suspect because
I thought it opened at like 105.
yeah,
Chiefs
but
were the
at
guys,
least
right?
7, right? 7.5. Give me the points.
Yeah. So you
And
like
yeah, that's a forensic pick. Do I think they're good enough to cover 3? No. Even if they're at home, no. I think they're one of the 3 worst teams in football,
Mhm,
and they're basically what 3.5 against
mhm.
the Titans. Okay, this is what's going to happen. We're going to cover, or we're not going to cover by over 30. How's that?
Heard. So either they smoke City or it's a tight Taurus.
Yeah, exactly. And they
I
cover.
like Houston
They
though.
cover or win because
Mhm.
they're Houston's 2 full games ahead of the next guy in their division, and so I mean you gotta sell season tickets in Jacksonville, and beating the top
Yeah,
team in their division. That's always a good way to kind of ties a bow on the holiday weekend for them, right? I
yeah.
like Jacksonville, and
Yeah, I don't
don't
even
be
know.
shocked if they win.
I don't know if Lawrence is playing or if we're getting Mac Jones and
I don't think Lawrence is playing either.
yeah,
I don't really care. I don't think it matters. I think it's just another reason to not take them, which is another reason for me to take them.
I disagree with you. I think Houston gets on back on track this week. I think they could even blow them out.
Oh no, I said they're going to blow them out if they win.
Oh,
If they
if they
win,
win.
it's not going to be if it's not going to be a squeaker if
Right,
they
right.
cover. They're not going to cover they're not going to win by a touchdown and cover. If they
Hmm.
cover, it'll be because they beat them by 30, and that
Hmm.
it was just the
Yeah.
odds maker was not knowing what they're doing again.
Which honestly, like, it makes me feel more, because I mean, yeah, Houston could do that, but like, it's Houston. Houston this year is different from Houston last year, and frankly, I feel like if you think Houston, if it's a matter of a pick of like Houston blows them out, or Houston, or if it's a close game, you're much more likely to get a close game out of this one. I feel like,
Sure. Yeah,
but either way,
especially with the
I
game
still am
in
picking
Jacksonville.
Houston.
Yeah.
But Arizona plus 3.5 at Minnesota Vikings. Arizona has been good. They've blown out a few teams, but they've also lost some games that they shouldn't have. And guess what? Last week they lost by 10 in Seattle. And the thing is that Minnesota has been looking real good. They,
Well, they got 9 wins.
they're 9-2, yeah. And now they're at
Uh,
home. They're back home. I like Darnold. I like Jefferson. I like a nice, convincing win from Soda at home. I don't care what the line is, 3.5. I like him by like 8 or 10.
well, you just said it. They're favored by barely home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like the 3.5. It could be a 3-point victory for Minnesota. So
Mm-hmm.
beware the hook. I
Yeah.
like the 3.5 points.
Yes, I know, and I figured you would, and that's okay. I like that. Kyler Murray
Whenever you
could
got the better team at home and they're not favored by more than the
six
home
and a half,
field,
more than 6.5. You like?
there you go. I want a 7.5 for me would be a buy price on them, but 3.5
Yeah.
is a sell price.
Give me 8, and it's fucking money, baby.
There you go.
Seattle at the Jets, 1 point. Seattle is the favorite right now, -1. Pick 'em in this thing, and you have
I'm
a
stupid
history.
on this team. I'm so stupid on this Jets team.
Get off
I'm
them.
no,
You
I don't want to. You do
want to
it.
get off the
I'm
Jets?
taking the Jets. Jets are gonna beat them. Jets are gonna go on a run. The Jets are gonna win 7 of their last 8 games or
I will
9
tell
games,
you what. I think
however
this
many it is.
week the Jets score the most points they've scored yet this season in this game.
I totally buy that. So
But I
yeah.
also
So
think they still
basically, they
lose
only need to
because I
what,
think
score
Seattle scores
28.
more. I like Seattle.
Okay, so you like Seattle in a track meet. That's good. So
Mm-hmm.
you're baking in the over. I
33-29.
also like I like the Jets, and I don't like the over necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just saying if the Jets win, it's going over, but I'm saying that the Jets will win, and you'll see. You won't just see a Jets team, but you'll see them complete on both sides of the ball, and you'll see Aaron Rodgers have his best game of the year.
I like
If
that.
not, ciao. I mean, a lot of people have already written them off. They're like 500 to 1 to
Yeah,
win the Super Bowl. But you know
I've
what?
got it.
As bad as the last team to get in's record will be in the AFC, the Jets, if they go on a run, they could still make the playoffs. As
Mm-hmm.
stupid and crazy as that sounds, that's why
Yeah.
I like it.
7 teams get in, motherfucker. Yeah, but then, so yeah, why not? They could do it. They just got to win some games. Possible still, and we know how this league goes. And I am down to just discuss the next game at this point. The Buccaneers of Tampa Bay -6 on the road against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, they'll kill them. The Tampa Bay is not the kind of team that messes around with any of the Vegas stuff. They really don't. If they can beat you, they'll pummel you, and if they can compete with you, they'll do their best. They win a lot of those. They got a great quarterback. Yeah, I think this will be ugly. I think they put up 40. I think the other guys put up about maybe 10 or 13.
I love it. That's a great pick, John.
40 to 13?
Yeah, I love it, man. I
What
think
did you pick on that one? What do you got on that game?
I got 37-23.
Okay. So,
Carolina.
you
Just kidding.
know,
Just kidding. Yeah, no,
all
I,
right.
I I like Tampa Bay too. Just like you said. I mean, this is it. We've been on Baker Mayfield all year. Baker Mayfield has been. I mean, if he was on a better team, this guy's fucking MVP. All right.
Well, there's no greater competitor I can say at the quarterback position. That guy goes out there and gives it all. He's very smart. He's limited athletically compared to most of those other guys, but he's a guy I would want, and he's a guy that I know that his teammates buy into because he goes out there and literally, to use a cliche, leads by example. The guy's tough, and
Yeah.
other people will lay it out there with him. Unlike the Chargers last year when they had Staley as their coach, I mean that whole team just walked away from him and gave up 70 points to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team that literally quit on their coach, and a lot of people can quit on their quarterback or whatever too. We've seen it happen,
Yeah, absolutely. But like
but
you said,
not that team, not
this team will
Tampa.
never quit on Baker.
Yeah, they're out there to fight. Yeah,
One of
and
the best
Evans is
leaders in the
back. He's
NFL.
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's go Tampa. The Rams and the Saints. The Rams on the road -2.5. Um, listen, I jumped on the Rams and I was very excited about them, and I still am. But looking at what they've done the past few weeks, and looking at where the Saints are, where the Saints came from, and struggling and now playing better, I'm on the Saints this week at home. I think they survive. I think they win the game against a good Rams team.
Good. I'm on the opposite side. I last week's action when the line came out, they were at home hosting the Sunday night game against Philadelphia. Okay, well, Philadelphia is an easy pick. They're laying 3 against, a healthy Cup, Stafford, and Puka.
Mm-hmm.
And they went out there and trounced them. Saquon had that record-breaking game.
Yeah.
And now I'm going and Philadelphia. I love them again. We'll talk about that later. I love them again this week
It's literally the next game.
against Baltimore. I'll tell you why, and that was just because of the line. But the LA is still a real solid team, so I think LA is going to go out there, put up over 30. It'll probably be like I don't even want to say score, but they'll cover, and I think it's going to be a lot of points scored because the Saints, they're good at going vertical. They'll cut down the clock on offense. They like to be up tempo, and try to keep the defense on their toes. So there'll be a lot of points scored, but this will be the track meet where I do bake in the over. How's that?
I disagree with you though. Honestly, I think this game
Yeah, I love
is
that.
it's
You
I
need to
think
do
it's
that
more
more.
I think it's more of an under type of game, man. I
Really?
yeah, Kamara, I think Kamara chews the clock, breaking off little runs, get first downs. They get Taysom Hill going. I think
He's always the X factor, and boy,
yeah.
and the way he went off in their last game, and now they're coming off a bye, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think either way, I think this is a tight game. No matter how you cut it, it could come down to that last drive or something. But I really think this is a game where the Saints have to.
Well, marching in.
They come marching in, man. I don't know, but either way, I love the Rams and I love those receivers and I love Matt Stafford and they got Williams back. But I also think that the Saints defense is extremely underrated. And I think maybe this is the shocker of the week because
Okay, all right.
it seems
I'll
too
give you
obvious.
that if it happens. I don't care
Yeah.
what's if with
It's,
other
it
games
seems
with
too
bigger
obvious to me
spreads.
that the Rams, you
I'll
just
give
think
you
the
that
Rams win, they should win, but
because I would be shocked if that happened. So I like it. Bring it on.
beautiful.
But
This
let's
game
let's
look
talk about that Philadelphia
yes.
Baltimore game now.
Philly +3 on the road, Baltimore -3 at home.
Is that a nighttime game?
It's a 425 kick. So it's I think
Eastern, right? So that's midday.
mhm, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think
Because
that's like
there was just
that's the
showing.
last game that kicks off. I don't know if there's two 425s or if there's two 405s or 105s, and then there's the
Makes no difference to me. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the night game
yeah,
because,
it's not the Sunday night.
gosh,
I'm going to the night game.
well,
I'm gonna
you're
take my dick out on
Baltimore.
national TV in the end zone, John.
Well, Lamar Jackson in prime time is 20-5 all time, so he's got the best record of all time in prime time, percentage wise. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't betting against him when he's won, 80% of those games.
Yeah.
Uh, but Philadelphia is favored, right, in that game.
No, Baltimore's
Oh
my
no, it's only three. They're getting three on the road.
getting
So
three. Yeah,
to me, that's the same thing as them being what favored, I guess, by 5 points at home. But
right.
they're a better team,
They
and
are a better team.
their defense was so good that Lamar is not going to be Lamar. He's not going to have time to improvise and use his athleticism and speed and
Dude, I
scrambling.
agree with you. I agree with you. Lamar is like against a bad defense, he's God. Against anybody fucking competent, he can't figure it out.
Hey, this is a family show. Don't use words like competent.
Don't use words like God, bro.
Of course you should. So, but anyway, I love Philly. What do you think?
I'm on Baltimore at home. Just
Oh,
kidding.
I think we got
Just
three
kidding.
good disagreements. I want a dollar on all three of those games.
Oh, I think Baltimore wins by a point or two, but I am on Philly +3.
Okay, so you like Baltimore on the money line.
I would take Baltimore money line. I would take Philly plus the points. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I'll take Philly anyway. I need to take them. All right, good.
Yeah. So, but because I do think Philly all around, Philly's the better team. I don't think the Ravens, even though they have all these studs on the Ravens defense, they haven't been able to figure it out. They haven't put it together, and they're overall not a very good defense. So it's tough. And plus, this is I think it's an 8-4 team or a 9-4. I don't know what they are, but Philly's 9-2. I mean, I looked at every game that these two teams have played, and I mean,
Yeah,
it's tough.
Philly's the choice. Philly's the choice until they're going to have to. I don't think anyone can stop them right now. I mean, So I mean, the only team with a better records is the Chiefs, and they're just yawning their way to victories by less than a score. It's really sick and sad and boring, but that's just kind of who they are. And
yeah, I mean,
and
really,
I have an announcement for you.
yeah. What's that?
As much as I hate to say it, I am officially here to say that Kansas City, I believe, will win the Super Bowl and they will have their three-peat.
Sorry.
I know.
But yes, that was my pick in the beginning of the year. Kansas
Ah,
City three-peat, man.
I hate saying it, but the way they're winning these games, and I see Patrick Mahomes just hating, choreographing these nail biters. They need to let him run. They really do. But
He's
the bottom line
embarrassed
is
by
they're winning
Ball
without
State.
showing. They're winning without needing to show what they have. So everyone else is going to be exposed by the time the playoffs run because they had to show what they had in order to win the games to get to the playoffs. The Chiefs haven't shown squat. None of their super creative plays of Andy Reid, none of the deep ball plays, none of the the reverses, the jet sweeps, all these kind of things. None of that stuff. I mean, none of the Superman passes for Pat. You haven't seen any of it, but they're going out there and they're winning every week with nothing. So they're winning on a hand ride. This is one of my terms for sports. I mean, it doesn't matter. They don't have to put out any effort. They're winning, and wait until they actually have to go to the whip.
Oh yeah.
That horse will respond.
Hmm. And that's the problem. And here's the thing, I mean, if the NFL is a legit league, there's no chance in fucking hell.
If the NFL were, quoth the grammar Nazi, because it's not.
I mean, it can't be. I mean, if the Chiefs three-peat with what they have and what they've showed, that would be
What they've
mind-boggling.
shown, quoth the grammar Nazi. Okay, I'll stop.
But that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But John, what's your background in watching wrestling and WWE and shit like that?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I mean, I used to sit front row for every single match that they had at the San Diego Sports Arena
I love
back
it.
in my late teens, early 20s.
Hmm.
It was great.
Oh yeah.
Hey, shout out to my buddy Rudy. He's no longer with us, but shout out to Rudy. Anyway, what about WWE?
So I saw a comment because obviously the WWE has the same contract for their or whatever their how their business is set up is the same way that all these major sports are set up now, which
As
is fine.
entertainment companies, yes.
Yes, it's entertainment. But somebody put a comment in that was like, hey, because I was watching a YouTube video that was like, is the NFL rigged or whatever? And they said, hey, well, guess what? The heel is always the champion for the most part, and the babyface is always chasing that heel. And how does that heel win? They win by cheating, they win by whatever. They don't look the best. They're not like the most built guy necessarily. They've got a posse around them. The ref is confused and doesn't know. And it was so similar to how like the Chiefs have been getting things done recently, which I found extremely interesting because I never thought that the NFL could possibly relate to the wrestling in that way where it's like, oh, guess what? The Chiefs, I mean, you're up 19-17 and the Raiders are at the 30 and then they miss the snap, hits Aiden O'Connell in the chest and the Chiefs recover, or the Chiefs block a field goal,
Oh,
or the
yes.
Chiefs get, a holding call in the Super Bowl or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just too fucking perfect, bro.
No, I
So,
agree, but I see it the absolute opposite way. I see Patrick Mahomes as the good guy, as the Hulk Hogan. I see Tom Brady in his day as the good guy, as the Hulk Hogan. I see, in fact, who was Hulk Hogan's tag partner in the first WrestleMania? It might have been the second WrestleMania. It was Mr. T. Look at the Chiefs now.
I
Guess
guess
who they've
sadly,
got? They've got Mrs. T. Taylor Swift.
oh
I rest my case.
no.
Your Honor, can we move on to the next game, please?
All right, so this is the guy that is the guy. This is the guy that we should be rooting for. All right, we have under 2 minutes. San Fran, Buffalo. I'm on the Bills -6. I got them 26-17 in the snow.
Yeah, I like the Bills to win. I liked them at -7.5. I mean, I guess it's come down probably because of the weather, but yeah, give me the Bills. I think we already talked about that.
Cool. Cleveland, Denver, Monday Night Football, Denver at home -5.5. Denver at home -5.5.
I want the points.
I want Denver.
You got them.
You've been on the Browns. Famous
And
Jameis.
when I started taking them, they started covering and winning. So let's
Mhm.
keep doing that.
But guess what? It's time to get off them.
Okay. We'll talk Tuesday.
All right, dude. We got a buck left. What do you want to talk about? Me and you.
No, that's about. Let's talk about fantasy, dude.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, dude.
in our league, the forensic sports league, I am on the outside looking in.
Mm.
I am probably not going to make the playoffs. It's
What if you win
scary.
this week? If you win this week, are you in?
No, if I win this week, I'm still not in. And I would need help next week, the last week before playoffs, when I play, drum roll, please, someone locked into a bye, Matthew R. Corbett.
Oh
So,
shit. I'll take all my guys out, bro. I'll take
all
them
right.
all out.
Well, a good thing because both of your quarterbacks have buys.
Next week, hashtag collusion, bro.
Yeah, I
I planned it
know.
like that. We set the
Anyway,
schedule.
we'll see how it goes, but that's what I got for you.
Awesome. All right, John. Well, I love you, buddy. Let's reconvene and let's have a great week, bro.
Sounds good, man. Let's knock them out.
All right.
Take care.
Later,
Enjoy
brother.